Last night's presidential debate may be remembered for being aggressive and sometimes hot-tempered, but Mo Rocca met some young people who have actually had some fun debating as they speed through the process.
If it sometimes feels like our candidates just aren't covering that much ground.
It's just not true.
It's absolutely true.
You might want to listen to this.
Out of control, the useless dams result in spiritual poverty and fashion that ensures animal suffering that's elaborate every appeal.
Few can argue like these fast-talking teens on issues from Russia to poverty and the economy.
A state would have little lows economically starting more only 90% of states. Well, it's not economic intercourse is impossible to come up with produce significant benefits.
They're debating at speeds of nearly 400 words per minute, 4 times faster than the average person speaks. It may sound like gibberish, but this is serious government policy. At New Trier High School's weekend tournament in suburban Chicago, the topic is federal funding for transportation infrastructure.
Improving courts the most federal responsibilities federal government investment needed to maintain the U.S. as a leader. The Commerce Clause is based for exclusive federal jurisdiction. Federal law takes precedence. Funding as language pen state processes. Now the plan solves. Expertise is key.
You both go to Catholic school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you could probably do the whole rosary in about 3 minutes.
we could. That's a potential, yeah.
Engage maps already allocated funds to the plan. The plan stops also with Lundero.
But it's no gimmick. Content counts. Speed reading, called spreading, packs more facts into a speech and scores more points with the judges.
So
Timers are everywhere. Running long is not an option.
Survival is at stake. Now go to the manufacturing advantage.
If you think you can play fast and loose with the facts when you're speaking at these speeds, think again. These kids don't miss a beat.
Inside more is unlikely to surface on nuclear modernization plants and Russian reception registering.
Turns out they're lightning-fast listeners and note-takers as well, running instant fact checks for their all-important rebuttals.
No, the link.
You don't have an answer to any of your questions.
You want me to answer a question or not?
Go ahead.
It even comes down to what pens you use, because some pens can write faster than others.
If you're distracted for just a couple of seconds, you can miss a couple hundred words.
Exactly.
And miss very important arguments that may cost you to the debate.
Mm-hmm. More capable of describing the transportation of nuclear strikes. They say that the message of
the breathing.
Yeah.
The sharp intakes of breath. Sometimes it sounds a little bit like you're crying. Like, it's just not fair. I didn't do it. Like that kind of a thing.
Yeah, that happens.
It's actually a really good interpretation of the way we breathe.
James and Athena Sawyer feared something else the first time they heard their son practicing.
He thought he had asthma attack or something.
Humans don't normally make that sound.
But Nate Sawyer says speed is just a small part of debate prep. He spends hours every day researching content.
Here's an article about the importance of dredging or port deepening.
No wonder he went to national finals his junior year. And when he's playing at home, he never loses.
We haven't won an argument in at least 4 years. We don't even bother to try.
The Gulf Coast trip was endless and keep the roof.
I know it seems really silly when we speak so fast, but as a result of that, the ability to process information quickly, make decisions quickly, and subsequently think about an issue from a multitude of perspectives, that is helping, already.
Time with friends is spent dissecting topics like the impending fiscal cliff or nuclear annihilation. He never watches TV. Ditto his policy debate competitors. The current battle between American Idol judges just doesn't compute. If you were asked to debate Nicki Minaj versus Mariah Carey and they're a feud, then you would learn everything about that.
Yeah, we'd probably do some research, read some magazines and things like that.
Do you even know who they are?
I've heard of them.
I know Starships. That's a pretty decent song by Nicki Minaj.
Right?
Yeah, but I don't really know a lot about them otherwise. So.
Pop culture may draw a blank with this crowd, but not politics. What could they learn from you?
I think the importance of not just debating one issue, but debating the issues behind those issues, or even the epistemological or ontological underpinnings of.
Okay, but should they talk faster?
Yeah, they should probably talk faster.
Mo Rocca's here. I like in your piece it sounds like gibberish. I'm thinking, yeah, it does sound like gibberish.
But it's not gibberish. I went into this thinking, what is the point? Is this just a stunt? I'm a total convert. It requires extraordinary concentration. Yeah. These kids listen with surgical precision.
Did anybody actually hyperventilate?
No one passed out. Maybe at the finals that'll happen. But they are formulating rebuttals as this is going on. So really, if you blank out, if you get distracted for a second, you could miss an entire argument. an entire thesis.
And this is a national competition now? There are other schools that are doing
There
this?
are other schools that do it in the Chicago area. It's particularly big. And I have to say, it's kind of refreshing that these kids are totally disengaged with pop culture. I shouldn't say totally disengaged, but they're so focused on policy because just the sheer amount of content that they have to absorb and generate and formulate for these debates. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be a little worried if my kids started doing that at home. Sorry.
Well, if you hear the muttering through the closed door,
it's the heavy intake of breathing that concerns me.
They could be Olympic swimmers.
Thank you, Mo Rocca. Thanks.